The air hung heavy, thick with the scent of lotus and impending doom. The atmosphere was almost suffocating, as if the very walls of the palace were closing in, bearing witness to the tragic end of an era. A single lamp flickered, casting dancing shadows on the mosaic walls. The light seemed to struggle against the encroaching darkness, much like the queen herself had fought against the tides of fate. Here lay Cleopatra, the last pharaoh of Egypt, her legendary beauty veiled in the encroaching pallor of death. Her once vibrant eyes were now dull, reflecting the weight of her choices and the inevitability of her demise. A small, venomous asp, its scales glinting in the dim light, lay beside her. This creature, so small yet so deadly, had become the instrument of her final act of defiance. Its venom, a swift and silent killer, had already coursed through her veins, extinguishing the fire of a life lived on her own terms. Cleopatra had chosen her end, embracing death rather than facing the humiliation of capture. Her voice, though weak, carried the strength of her resolve, a final testament to her indomitable spirit. How did it come to this? How did the queen, who once commanded armies and charmed the greatest leaders of her time, find herself in such a dire situation? How did this queen, who held the fate of empires in her hands, who was revered and feared in equal measure, end her days in such a dramatic and tragic fashion? The answer lies in the complex web of her life, a life filled with ambition, love, and political intrigue. The answer, like the woman herself, is a tapestry woven from ambition, love, political intrigue, and ultimately despair. Cleopatra's story is one of resilience and tragedy, a poignant reminder of the fleeting nature of power and the enduring strength of the human spirit. Cleopatra VII. Philopator was born into the Ptolemaic dynasty, a lineage established by Alexander the Great's general, Ptolemy I Soter. Even as a child, Cleopatra possessed an undeniable charisma, a sharp intellect, and an unquenchable thirst for knowledge. She devoured scrolls in the Library of Alexandria, absorbing languages and philosophies, mastering the art of rhetoric and statecraft. She was not content to be a mere figurehead. Cleopatra envisioned herself as the living embodiment of Isis, the divine mother goddess of Egypt. The throne, she believed, was her birthright, a destiny she would claim at any cost. Power, however, rarely comes without a struggle. Upon their father's death, Cleopatra found herself co-ruler with her younger brother, Ptolemy XIII, a boy king easily manipulated by ambitious advisors. The struggle for dominance was inevitable. The throne was hers by right, and she was not to be a puppet to those who seek to control it. Cleopatra, aware of the machinations brewing around her brother, was forced to flee Egypt, seeking refuge in Rome. Exile, however, would not break her. Instead, it fueled her determination to reclaim what she believed was rightfully hers. Destiny, it seemed, had other plans, intertwining her fate with one of the most powerful men in the world, Julius Caesar. Julius Caesar's arrival in Alexandria was a pivotal moment in Cleopatra's life. Legend has it that she had herself smuggled into his chambers rolled up in a carpet, an audacious act that captivated the Roman general. Caesar was intrigued. Who was this woman so bold and so fearless? Caesar was smitten, not only by her beauty, but also by her intellect and political acumen. He became her lover, her champion, and the father of her son, Caesarion. With Caesar's support, Cleopatra defeated her brother's forces, securing her place as the undisputed ruler of Egypt. Their relationship, however, was more than a mere dalliance. It was a strategic alliance, a fusion of love and ambition that would shape the destiny of the Roman Republic. The Ides of March. This was a pivotal moment in history, a day that would forever alter the course of the Roman Empire and the lives of those entwined with its fate. Cleopatra and Caesar's reign, however, was tragically cut short. Cleopatra and her lover, Julius Caesar, faced mounting threats from all sides, their power slipping through their fingers like sand. The Ides of March arrived, a day etched in infamy, a day that marked the assassination of Julius Caesar on the cold marble floor of the Roman Senate. The conspirators, driven by fear and ambition, struck with brutal efficiency, leaving Rome in a state of shock and mourning. For Cleopatra, the news was a devastating blow. The man she loved, the father of her child, was gone. The future they had envisioned together was shattered in an instant. Rome was plunged into chaos, and Cleopatra was once again vulnerable. The streets of the city were filled with unrest, and the power vacuum left by Caesar's death threatened to engulf the entire empire in turmoil. She returned to Egypt, her heart heavy with grief, but her resolve unbroken. Despite the overwhelming sorrow, Cleopatra knew that her duty to her people and her son was paramount. The future was uncertain, but she was determined to protect her legacy and the future of her son. She began to strategize, seeking ways to secure her throne and ensure the prosperity of Egypt. Little did she know another Roman general would soon enter her life, igniting a passion that would shake the very foundations of Roman power. This new alliance would bring both hope and peril, as Cleopatra navigated the treacherous waters of love and politics once more. Marc Antony, Caesar's loyal general and friend, summoned Cleopatra to Tarsus. He needed Egypt's resources and wealth to consolidate his own power. Cleopatra saw an opportunity not just to secure her throne, but to potentially revive Alexander the Great's dream of a unified East and West. Their meeting was the stuff of legends. Cleopatra sailed down the Cydnus River in a golden barge, adorned as the goddess Aphrodite, captivating Antony with her beauty and charisma. Their affair was immediate and passionate, a whirlwind of feasts, hunts, and lavish displays of affection. Together they ruled Alexandria and formed a formidable alliance. This alliance, however, was not to last. Back in Rome, Octavian, Caesar's adopted son and heir, was consolidating his own power. He saw Antony as a threat, and their rivalry escalated into open warfare.
The Battle of Actium, a clash of titans on both land and sea, sealed the fate of Antony and Cleopatra.
Outnumbered and outmaneuvered, their forces were crushed. Falsely informed of Cleopatra's death, Antony fell on his own sword. Cleopatra, her dreams shattered, was captured and brought back to Alexandria in chains, a prisoner in her own palace. Faced with the humiliation of being paraded through the streets of Rome as Octavian's trophy, Cleopatra, the last pharaoh of Egypt, found herself at a crossroads. Her kingdom had fallen, her allies were defeated, and her beloved Marc Antony was dead. The once mighty queen was now a prisoner, destined to be a symbol of Rome's victory. Cleopatra chose a different path, a final act of defiance against the encroaching Roman might. Rather than submit to a life of humiliation and servitude, she decided to take control of her own fate. In her final moments, she orchestrated a dramatic end that would ensure her legacy endured for millennia. Cleopatra allowed herself to be bitten by an asp, which was smuggled into her in a basket of figs, a death befitting a queen. With her death, the Ptolemaic dynasty came to an end, and Egypt fell under Roman dominion. The once great civilization of the pharaohs was now just another province in the vast Roman Empire. Yet Cleopatra's legacy was far from over. Cleopatra's story, however, transcended the pages of history. Her life and death became the subject of countless tales, poems, and plays, capturing the imagination of generations to come. She was remembered not just as a queen, but as a symbol of resistance, love, and the complexities of power. It became a tale whispered through the ages, a testament to the enduring power of love, ambition, and the enduring allure of a queen who dared to challenge the might of Rome. Cleopatra's legacy is a reminder that even in the face of overwhelming odds, one can choose to define their own destiny.